Helium and its network subtokens cooled off for a day or two after touching the $9.50 level. What we are seeing now is very normal and expected distribution and has happened multiple times in the past few weeks after big markups in price. With all the positive sentiment and news surrounding Helium Mobile, I am expecting this dip to be eaten up in the coming days. A new local low that is higher than the previous is what we are looking for in the HNT and its sub-network token. We also may be approaching the last few days or even hours to pick up HNT below the $10 level. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please hit that like and subscribe on the way in. YouTube, in fact, notified me that almost 74% of you are not subscribed.
I thought we were friends.
I take strong offense to that, so please let's fix that here if you guys enjoy this kind of content. So what we're looking at today is Helium, a slight pullback after crossing or touching the $9.50 level, pulling back before the psychological $10 level. And we can see that the market closes for these daily candles was right around our charted resistance here at $8.53. This $8.53 level was a major turning point here, and it served as support 4 times before Helium ultimately took a dive down, and now here we are back in all its glory, retesting this level as resistance. There is obviously some supply here, but it is no different than these other levels that we have seen. We're going to talk about what this chart means, what we could expect moving forward on different timescales here for Helium, as well as what we can expect on the Helium mobile and IoT token charts. So stay tuned for all of that. But right now, let's take a look here and get an idea of where we are as of the recording of this video. We can see we're down almost 12% over the previous 24 hours, still up 30% over the last 7 days, and we are at the 55th position. We have lost a few ranks since I talked about imminently crossing the top 50 coin by market cap range 2 days ago. But of course, Helium crossing back into the top 50 coins by market cap here is imminent. I would expect it to happen certainly before year end. And I do have a feeling that once we reclaim it, it would be pretty unlikely that we come back down below. I think the combination of the Solana sentiment with the Helium sentiment, Helium mobile launch, all of these things are just perfect for Helium. And we are seeing all of that play out and be reflected here in the charts. Guys, ultimately, at the end of the day, the reason why I love technical analysis on these assets is because everything that you can measure ends up playing out in the token price. Everything from marketing pushes to fundamentals to sentiment to on-chain data, everything ends up playing out here in the charts. And as we can see, Helium has consecutively put in higher local lows over and over and over again since the beginning of December. And ultimately, once we have a higher low above the previous support line, we can see that we mark up higher. And as we can see, this is the most recent local low here, and it looks like as of the recording of this video, we are forming the second higher local low here on the chart. That is what we want to see. As long as we form a local low higher than the $7.07 level, the momentum is still upward and the market structure of Helium is still intact. And I do think that the $10 to $12 range is certainly in play in the next few weeks. And guys, of course, if we look at Solana here, I mean, it is an absolute rocket ship, touching the $95 level just a few minutes ago. And if we look, it's interesting because we can see very similar market structure patterns between Helium and Solana. I think most notably is the bullish engulfing candles that we see on all of these dips. These big red candles that we see all get eaten up the next day by these large green bullish engulfing candles on every one of the price markups here for Solana. And we can see that that is the same case here for Helium. All of these candles all of these red candles that form the local low are being eaten up by bullish engulfing candles. I would expect the same thing to happen here. I like to look at the 4-hour chart because we can see the local lows better here on Helium, and it just gives us a better idea of the market structure. But this is looking really, really good right now. Of course, in every market, there are profit takers at different levels. That is very normal. But as we can see, there are people waiting to get into this asset at higher and higher levels. The reason why we see these higher levels, these higher lows, is because people are front running these previous lows. And as more and more people get in, higher lows form, it doesn't make it all the way down to the previous low and so forth. And then once the supply dries up, we see these markups in price. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, guys, I think the largest backdrop, or at least the largest sentiment push here for Helium right now is certainly being driven by Helium Mobile as opposed to Helium IoT. But from Amir just the other day, we can see that on December 18th, they were adding around 1,000 subscribers a day to Helium Mobile. He mentions need to accelerate, but what a great start. So much data to be consumed by Helium hotspot deployers. And then a few days later, actually 1 day later, he gives an exact number, 1,115 in the past 24 hours. Growth still going strong, although we've had to briefly pause signups. Now, it seems as though there was a bit of a hiccup operationally with onboarding people onto Helium Mobile. Nothing to do with the actual blockchain. It seems as if there was something to do mechanically with Helium Mobile, but nonetheless, it was all sorted out, and they're adding upwards of 1,000 Helium Mobile subscribers a day. That is incredible numbers here for a national launch that occurred just a few weeks ago. I believe the Helium Mobile network subscriber growth is going to continue to accelerate upwards as network effects begin to happen. People talk inside and outside of crypto, and ultimately the value is realized by the Helium Mobile subscribers, and they tell their friends and family. And guys, if we look here at the weekly chart for HNT, we can see right now we are between these two key resistance line. This one now flipped to support. This one will remain as resistance. As long as we settle up for the week in between these two levels, I will be very happy. I'm also certainly not going to rule out closing, in fact, above this level. If we see Solana continue perhaps towards the $100 level, I think we certainly could see Helium close above this big resistance around the $11 level for the week. Very possible. It's certainly in the books. But if we close just in this area here, I will be very, very happy and satisfied going into year end here for Helium on the weekly. And guys, if we look at the monthly, of course, the end of the month is coming up. We can see that we wicked and touched the monthly support line here, which is very, very interesting. A close above that level for this monthly candle would be, I think, monumental in terms of momentum and sentiment for Helium. I mean, blasting through two very, very key support lines on a monthly timescale is extremely significant and shows that buyers are very, very serious here and are gobbling up all the HNT they can get in anticipation for some serious markups towards the $20 level. And guys, lastly here on Helium IoT, we can still see higher and higher local lows forming. This is a common theme amongst all the Helium network subtokens, and the reason is people are very, very excited about this market. The sentiment is strong, the network is growing, and people want to own this asset, and they're trying to get in the best entries possible, which is, of course, as close as they can to the previous local low. And we can see we have had higher local lows since the beginning of December, just like all the rest of the Helium tokens. Really, really positive stuff. But guys, I will leave you with this. We have to keep in mind, we must keep in mind that the fate right now still of Helium and all Solana tokens is still highly correlated and highly dependent on what Solana does. If we see Solana come back and retest this, let's call it an $82 level, we will see larger percentage pullbacks on other Solana assets. As long as Solana continues going upwards or at least sideways, we will see redistribution of Solana profits amongst other tokens, and I think Helium will certainly outperform in those instances. I'm still very, very positive. The outlook here has never been more positive for me. This price momentum and movement is extremely strong, and the momentum is only growing here for helium. I am really excited to see what moves forward towards the end of the year and into January, and of course all of 2024. I will make a video outlining my thought process on the larger scale moves that we might see coming into the year before we really make a run for all-time highs. But that is going to be coming in a few days or weeks. I'll hope to get it out before the end of this year. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching until the end. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. And please put any questions or comments you have down below. Again, I know you guys could be anywhere on the internet listening to anyone, so you guys being here really means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much. But that is all I have for today's video. Just like that, this video is over, and I will see you next time.